Did it?
Um, uh, I think we're live. I
I
think,
think so.
I think, I think, I think I hit the button, and I think I
I'm
think.
gonna say the hitting
Uh,
of the button did not come easily.
oh yeah, we
I
we
waited a while.
yeah, we did it. I believe that we are live. Oh yeah, hi guys, what's up? We did it. You know, we made it. We're only 5 minutes late, Vanessa. It's fine.
Oh, it's okay. There was a button to find. It was like we've never done this before. It's been so long. I
It,
just it took a minute to settle in.
Yeah, because I don't know the last time we actually did a Zoom, and I was like, hey, I don't remember the button I have to press to actually make this go live.
That's a true story.
So that's what Vanessa and that's what we were doing for like the last 5 minutes. We were like, I think it was this one. Okay. And then I pressed the wrong button, and we haven't even
Yeah.
started drinking wine yet. So,
No, no, there was no. This was just
no,
natural confusion.
that's it. But hi. We did it.
Hi,
It
we did
is
it.
it is good to have you back, and
Thank
it's
you.
it's good to have you guys all back on Wine Wednesday. Vanessa, just so you know, they're all like Vanessa. So
That's how I feel. I'm so happy.
um, I'm just gonna relay to you some of the things. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay. Okay.
uh, let's see. Miniature Missy, she was first here, by the way. So hey,
You're the best. Follow you on the Insta.
look at that.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah,
do.
I love that.
She's a great
Maddie,
dancer. I see her dancing.
she's a very talented. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, super talented.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I wish I had those moves. Yeah.
We love her.
Mm.
Let's see. Oh, look at you guys. You're all here. This is really fun. Maddie, hello, Vanessa. I've sincerely missed you.
I missed you too.
Oh, Tom, Wine Wednesday returns. Oh, Leilani said, oh, I miss Vanessa's wine corner. Oh, man. Oh, you're singing over there, Miniature Music. Beautiful lady in red. Yes. Yeah. Oh, this is great. Amanda's here from Down Under, and we're doing,
Perfect.
yeah. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that's great. My parents are here. Hi, mom and dad.
Hi.
My mom said, oh, tell Vanessa about a Del Vino vineyard on Long Island. Oh yeah, I went to a little winery on Long Island, which was really neat.
Nice.
It wasn't even too
On
far from where we live. It's like
uh,
crazy. Yeah.
was it on the North Fork?
Yeah, it was. Well, it was in the North Shore of Long Island, Del
Not sure.
Vino.
Okay. I
So
haven't been there, but
it
I've
was cool.
I've had
Yeah,
some nice wines from there. I feel like I've had some really nice rosés and white wines.
yeah,
And I feel like there's a lot of Cabernet Franc up there as well.
really.
That
Okay,
yeah.
cool. That's great.
Obviously I'm overdue for a visit, but
I
cool.
know it's funny. I like wine was not really a big thing on Long Island when I grew up there and when I lived there, but now it's like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So that's cool. Hi everybody. Oh, Alexa's here. She just went wine tasting for the first time since the pandemic. It was amazing. Look at that. Yeah, we're back. It's
We
really
are
exciting.
back.
We're
Yeah.
back. Oh, hey, Disney Mama. Oh, that's Naomi. Naomi's moderating. Naomi, we have a moderator of the chat. This is amazing. So thank you, Naomi. You know,
Thank you, Naomi.
this is great. I love this. Hey, Vanessa. So, guys, in case you didn't know, Vanessa and I actually met in person, finally,
For the first time.
and it was so great. It really was.
I think like I remember I drove up and I think I did this face.
You did. You did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was waiting outside the restaurant and when I was driving, I'm like,
I
what?
was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty much my reenactment. And then it just got better from there.
It was just it was so great. It really was so long overdue, and
I know.
we had the best time, and we ate really well. Oh my
Drank some
good.
wine.
We drank wine, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We started with a cocktail though, and
We
then we had
did. Yes. It was
so
that kind of day. It was, holiday weekend. We needed a cocktail.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was just wonderful. Yeah, I'm so happy that it finally happened. It's the first of many times.
Yes, that's true. We still have to organize the group outing to Napa.
Oh yeah, yeah, we do group outing to Napa.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, things are open up here. It's a little weird today. It's like kind of windy and a little cold, but it's been beautiful
Good.
and people are back up here. People are at the tasting rooms and restaurants, and it's so nice to see just people out and about and enjoying wine country because it's such a beautiful place.
I can't wait to get back up. Yeah, I really can't. I'm sure it's gotta feel so nice to see, your town alive again.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I'm sure you feel the same. Just
Oh,
yeah, feels
completely.
good.
Yeah, it's like yes, like driving around LA, you're like, man, there's so much traffic again. But also, you're like, oh, look, everything is there.
Yeah,
There's life again, and we're going out to dinner, and what?
exactly. It puts it in perspective, right? You're like, okay, I'm stuck in traffic. However, I'm able to be stuck in traffic because I'm going somewhere cool that I want to be with people. So,
Yeah,
you know, yeah,
weird, but
yeah,
yay, we did it.
did
So
it.
yeah,
Well,
um,
the wine helped.
yeah, right. It's so true. You think about the last year and a half and doing what we did, and this was such a big part of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, oh man.
Well, and I'll say it was so amazing to meet you in person. But what we learned over the last year is we actually can enjoy wine together, even when we're not in the same city. So
Right,
that's a great takeaway that
really is.
we can still get together, we can chat about wine, and it's we're back. It's Wine Wednesday.
We are. It's pretty
Yeah.
amazing. Speaking of, let's see what we got here. Oh, first, sorry. Hey, Dee Dee. Hi, Dee Dee. Thank you. Oh, Dee Dee's like Max's Napa trip donation. Thanks. Oh, and Tom is drinking wine from his new personalized cheesy pop glass he got from Amory. Thanks, Tom. That's
Nice.
yeah. A bunch of my people met up. I actually met a whole bunch at Disney last week.
That's so cool.
And one of them, Amory, made these little wine glasses with my logo on it. Little wine, yeah.
I
So,
love that.
amazing. Yeah. So pretty cool. Pretty
Are they
cool.
drinking wine out of it?
Yeah, Tom. What are you having, Tom? What kind of wine you having, Tom? What kind? Let me know. While we get into whatever we got tonight, man.
Yeah, I feel like we
Okay.
need to see.
Well,
We're so out of practice. We haven't even had.
yeah, let's go.
Why are we here? I don't remember. Oh, right, Wine
Oh
Wednesday.
yeah, it's not
It's
just Max.
literally in the title.
Right, it's not just Max and Vanessa talk. It,
No, no,
although it could be. I mean,
I'd be fine with that too. I'd be fine
yeah.
with that. But I'm gonna
All right,
pour
I gotta open
some
this.
of the Vas. Yes, Vas Felix. It is under a Stelvin or a screw cap. I will chat about that in a minute. But this is from Margaret River in Australia, and it is a Chardonnay, and it is a 2019 vintage. And I can't wait to talk about it and talk about the theme of the wines we're talking about today and next time. Figure out when the next time is. But first, I feel like we should have a toast.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Cheers.
Hey, cheers.
Great to see you. So happy to be back with you and all of your community. I really miss everyone. I mean that genuinely. Yeah. Ooh, that smells good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we're tasting wines from the Southern Hemisphere. So I know you have 4 wines that we selected together. We're doing
Yes.
2 of them, right? 2 of them tonight, and then we'll do the other 2 another time. And I feel like when we talked about this several months ago, and we were thinking like, what happened when we talked about, because we tasted wines from we had a whole California
Yeah.
experience, right? And then we did some wines from France, and I think Spain and Italy, but we had never done anything actually from the Southern Hemisphere. So we put together these 4 wines, And so they're all going to be wines that are from places like, well, tonight we have Australia and Chile represented, but Argentina, New Zealand, South Africa. So
Yeah,
this is a new exploration
it is. You know what? Let me
for
pop
us.
the link. Let me pop the link in for people. So, in case you
Perfect.
guys want to get any of these wines, let me show you. It's at that link right there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Um,
And
yeah.
oh, I was just going to say, like, so, talking about the Southern Hemisphere is like a couple just sort of fun facts to start.
Hmm.
Is that, I mentioned some of those other countries we tasted wines from, like Italy or France, but did you know that each of those countries individually, France and Italy, makes more wine than all of the Southern Hemisphere combined?
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
so not to say that some of these countries in the Southern Hemisphere, don't make a good amount of wine, but that just kind of puts it in perspective, right? That
Hmm.
it's kind of these are fun special wines to taste. Something else that that's interesting is because it is the Southern Hemisphere, they actually harvest um, in the opposite time of year as what we do here.
That makes sense.
So, right. So we're heading into the fall here in Napa Valley. So we're going to start harvesting, we start bringing in maybe white grape varieties, wines for sparkling wine in August, September, and then
Mhm.
the reds follow, shortly after. Of course, it depends on the vintage. It's warm vintage or cool vintage, but that's when we harvest. We harvest in, late summer into the fall. But
Okay.
but harvest already happened in the southern hemisphere this year. So they're like done.
So
Um,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah. And how that kind of plays out practically sometimes for people who work in winemakers, or is sometimes they'll work harvest in both hemispheres in the same year. So someone who's studying wine, might go work a harvest, be an intern, let's say in Australia, and then they'll come to Napa Valley and then work a whole another harvest like in the same year.
That's a sweet gig. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So,
pretty awesome. Right.
yeah, right. So we're tasting Chardonnay. So I think we talked about Chardonnay on previous Wine Wednesdays, but it's what what's referred to as an international variety, meaning it can grow in many different places. You can have Chardonnay, and obviously here in California, we have it here. We have it in France, of course.
Yeah.
Even in Italy, you'll find, but also in the Southern Hemisphere. So places like Australia, New Zealand, Chile, Argentina. It's a variety that can grow lots of different places, but it still does like areas that have a cooling influence.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Okay. I see. Wait, Amanda here said according to my face, I maybe don't like this. Did I make a
Oh,
face? No, Amanda, that was I'm trying to figure out what this is face, not an I don't like it face, because I
hmm.
actually like this.
Hmm.
I do. This is very like uh, it's kind of light,
Yeah.
and
So
uh, and I don't know, like lemony or something. I don't know.
definitely lemony. So I would say so this is from again, this is from Margaret River. Australia is a very large country, has a lot of beautiful growing regions. I would say Margaret River it's on the Indian Ocean. Lots of sharks, I think. Someone's from they can validate this, but I think there's lots of sharks. And it's a Mediterranean climate. So
Okay.
similar climate to Napa, but I find that in because Napa Valley here we have a Mediterranean climate as well. But I find that that Chardonnays from Margaret River in Australia, they're a little bit, to your point, Max, like a little lighter on their feet. There's a bright acidity. Now, of
Oh,
course, we could be all the way over on the Sonoma coast where it's very cold, right? And
yeah.
have something similar. But in Napa, they can be kind of richer, more tropical fruit. But this, I think, has this like balance of fruit ripeness, but that great like lift that I think you were talking about. Like it's light on its feet, right?
Okay. Yes. That's what I was that's what I was trying to I think that was my face, Amanda, by the way.
Hmm.
'Cause I was like, wait, because you know what? like a Chardonnay, a California Chardonnay
Right.
is, and this doesn't taste like that.
It's I think it's very elegant. I definitely get that. Do you get that kind of toastiness on it from? There's definitely new oak on
Yeah,
this, so I
there's
get that
that.
kind of.
Yes,
hmm
yes, but it's just
But
different.
this
It's different from a Napa Chardonnay. It's just
that's yeah. That's
yeah,
why we're here. We're
yeah.
trying new things together. But I really like this producer. So again, it's Bass Felix. Margaret River. I've been to Australia. I've never been to Margaret River. And I remember when I was there, I was like, oh, I'll just like pop on over, right? I'll just take a trip. It's so hard to get to.
Really?
Yeah, it's like way out there on the coast. I think you have to take like a small plane and drive a bunch. I was over in Victoria, but
I'm gonna
so they
Google
were
this
like,
now. I'm gonna Google this now.
yeah, it's a pretty remote area to get to, but very well known for grapes like Chardonnay, but also other red grapes that we refer to as Bordeaux varieties like Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Cabernet Franc or Bordeaux blends. So that's kind of what
Got it.
what they're known for. And then Bass Felix, this particular producer, I really like that we're trying it because it's very highly regarded as one of the top producers from
Okay.
Margaret River, but only 7% of their entire production leaves the country. Oh,
Wow.
let's see your map. Let's
So
see.
like, if you look at Australia, let me zoom out,
Yeah.
because that's where it is.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
oh yes. It's a hike. But I'm gonna make it there. I will. Have you been to Australia?
No.
Yeah,
I gotta get,
I was only there that one time and I just loved it. The people are so nice.
I gotta get
I
there.
thought the food was outstanding. Obviously, the wines. I have to tell you, if you don't like spiders, though, yeah, it's tough. I'm not a fan of spiders. And
Spiders are just everywhere in Australia.
there are, I don't know that they're more, but they're really big and they're very deadly.
Oh,
So,
hey,
yeah,
is this true, Amanda? We've got
yeah,
we've got some deadly spiders over there. So,
back
oh, see, this
back
really
me up
good.
here.
So
Mhm.
Amanda said, it's just in a different state. It would be like going from Florida to California, as an example. Okay,
Exactly. Exactly.
that
So
makes
it's like
sense.
I was in Florida and me, I'm like, I've never been to Australia. I was like, I'll just pop on over. And they were like, oh no, 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 no. That's
Got
like a
it.
whole separate trip.
Okay. Okay, so there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, she said, yeah, we have some spiders, all caps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know
All
who's here?
caps.
Robert's here. Hi, Robert. Cheers.
Cheers. So, anyway, I really love this wine. I think it's delicious. I think it would pair well with anything from the ocean, salads, you
Yeah.
know, chicken. I think you could go with, but I'm
Oh,
a big
yeah.
fan. It's a female winemaker at the helm.
Awesome.
Her name's Virginia Wilcock, and she joined in, I think, 2006.
Mhm.
And she's just like amazing powerhouse. And I think she's been winemaker of the year for like 3 different publications just since she's been there in her tenure. So a cool all around, cool
Man,
winemaker,
that's
awesome property, delicious wine.
that's awesome.
Just don't get near the spiders.
We'll get through this later.
Don't, yeah.
You know,
Uh,
I just rode the new Spider-Man ride
oh,
in Avengers Campus, and on that, you're just like flinging webs to get the spider
ooh,
bots. So that's how it would be, I guess, in Australia. Just
yeah,
that's what
yeah.
that's what you're literally doing the whole time. I'm just
Is it a scary ride?
no, it's super fun.
Okay,
You're shooting webs with your hands.
that's cool.
Yeah.
What's the scariest ride that you've been on there?
What's the scare? Well, scary can be. You mean like scary as in like roller coaster scary, or like scary as in like theming? Because you know,
Oh, good distinction. See, this is why you're the expert. let's go both. Let's go one in each category.
Because, I think you could say that, oh man, guys, this is actually a good question for you all, by the way, too. The scariest,
Mm-hmm.
this is good. I think that if you go with like, see, I used to, so see, I don't think the Haunted Mansion's that scary. See,
I
Guardians of
love
the,
Haunted.
see, I think that, Twilight Zone Tower of Terror was, I think, thematically the creepiest kind of ride because you have the
Mm-hmm.
Twilight Zone theme, and I think
Yeah.
it just builds this like suspenseful eeriness.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the one. That's
Okay.
definitely the one. And then it drops you, like 13 stories. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would say that's the
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Okay.
But and then
I
yeah, I think that's it.
what is
I think
that?
I think that's the one for that's eerily scary. And then so now that ride is Guardians of the Galaxy, and they just kind of throw you up and down a lot.
Yeah.
So that's pretty terrifying. Just
So you've got the like stomach in your throat type thing going on. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot. Got it. I've actually been at a wine. So there's a winery called Lopez de Heredia, which is in Rioja in Spain. Or we learned last time, Rioja, as the Brits like to call it.
Yeah,
For no
Rioja.
apparent no apparent reason, but we're gonna let that go. So it's actually it's a super iconic winery in Rioja. They make some of the most beautiful wines. But they have this really old cellar, where they're storing their bottles and barrels, and it's covered. I think I might have mentioned I'm not a big fan of spiders. Like there's black mold everywhere, and that doesn't get in the wine, just so everyone knows. Like it's just it grows in some of these cellars if you let it. But it's like here's the wall and it's grown out to here, right? So like you're kind of walking through and you're like this, and you don't really want to touch anything because it's kind of like slimy and weird. And then there was a staircase, and then it's all over the stairs, and it's really slippery. So you want to hold on to the railing, but then the railing is covered in black mold too, and there's spiders. I made it out alive, but only because the wine was delicious.
Okay, that was my question. I was like,
yeah.
It's gotta be a bow on this story because
it's like these ancient cellars. So the bottles are in there; they're sealed. It's not, and it's kind of like becomes this sort of. It's part of the whole experience and the terroir of the place now that this is what their cellar is like. I'm sure they'll never change it, but just so you know, if you go, no. I probably would wear gloves next time, and definitely not the cute heels that I was trying to rock because that did not go well on slimy stairs.
All right, so no cute heels when I go to the black mold filled winery in Rioja.
No. You can learn from my experience there.
I'm gonna put that in my notes right now. No heels in the. Thanks for the tip.
I'm here for you. Okay, I got you.
I like this though. This is great.
I like it too.
I actually really. I am enjoying this.
I meant to mention, so the screw cap.
Screw cap.
So I wanted to mention that it's not something to be afraid of or to think of that it indicates that the wine is lower quality or even a lesser price point. There are some of like the top wines of the world are now bottled under that type of closure, and they've come a long way. So if you think of back in the day, maybe when they're first invented, maybe they weren't quite as great, or there was some issues with the oxygen exchange, but it's light years beyond that, and it's actually a very, very reliable way to bottle a wine. So you don't have any sort of issues with corks. Corks are beautiful and romantic, and we're going to drink our next wine was bottled under cork, but they sometimes can have issues. They can crumble, they can get old. There's something called TCA that can happen. which can affect the sort of quality and enjoyment of your wine. And so it's a way to be sure that you're avoiding that. But also, so many things about wine. We've talked about a few things like this happen just because of necessity, and then it becomes tradition, but it started from necessity. And so back in the day, Australia, as a younger, not a young, but a younger country for producing wine, younger than places like France or Italy or Spain, they weren't, top of the list for when cork producers, had their product available, and it's not unlimited. And so essentially what happened was they'd be sort of last on the list to be able to place their orders. And so they would maybe not get the corks that they wanted. They got the lower quality corks, or couldn't get them. And so they kind of were like, well, okay, what can we do about this? We're going to figure it out. And so they were a very early adopter of bottling under this closure. And now you'll see, again, some of the top wines from the country bottled under this. It's fun fact.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes. Should we try the red wine?
That's brilliant. Yes. Let's do that. Okay.
So now we're in South America.
South America.
South America. Do we have anyone in the chat from Chile or from
anyone
South America?
from Chile?
Yes.
Cool label.
Yes. So this is obviously a red wine. So have you been to Chile?
No. I've been to South America. I've been to Colombia. So
I've only been once.
You've been to
another
Chile.
place.
Cool.
Another place I really enjoyed and would like to go back to. But so this is it's a grape called Carignan.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, different.
Okay.
So it actually grows in other places. Notably, it grows in the region of Priorat in Spain. I mean, it grows many places, but where we often see it, Priorat in Spain, very famously blended often with Grenache there, or Garnacha, as we're in Spain. But here in Chile, and it's in Spain, it's called Mazuelo, by the way. But it's the same grape variety. You know how sometimes it'll be, we say Syrah, they say Shiraz, we say Charabono, they say Bonarda. It's
what's the one? What's Mourvedre? And then Mourvedre is
Monastrell.
Yeah, there's so many different. Okay.
Yeah, I know. They're not trying to trick you. They're just trying to keep you on your feet.
Okay.
Or keep you on your toes. Keep you on your toes. Yeah. So.
Toes. Okay.
So Chile is an interesting. Oh, sorry. We should toast.
Let's go.
I just toast. Cheers. Cheers. That is. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to hear what you think about this, by the way. But so it's the 8th largest wine producing country in the world.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
And you'll see a range of wines from Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc. There's Carignan like we're tasting now, but there's Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot. There's a grape called Carmenere. This is a sort of a fun story. So Carmenere is a variety that's also cultivated in Bordeaux. And there are many varieties, there are several red grape varieties that Bordeaux is known for. Merlot is one of them. And so back in the day, a lot of Chile was planted because France was having a hard time with disease in the vineyards. Mm-hmm. And at that point, people didn't really know how to solve it, right? So a lot of people went different places. Some people went to Spain. Some winemakers went to Chile, and they brought cuttings with them, and so cuttings are like cuttings of a vine. And so you can take a cutting from a vine and plant it. You don't plant wine growing vines from seed. You take an actual cutting of the vine, put it on a rootstock, and you plant it. And so for a long time, people were trying to understand why the Merlot, what they thought was Merlot, that had been taken from France and planted in Chile, tasted not totally like they were used to. Like there was a bit of a different quality to it. It was kind of more peppery, green pepper. And it turns out that all these plantings that they thought were Merlot were actually this grape called Carmenere, but they didn't know that for quite a while. But then, very smart marketing decision, they just doubled down and were like, this is our grape. We love Carmenere. We are going to be known for growing this. So,
okay,
you see how they just pivoted. So
yeah.
anyway, we're not drinking Carmenere. We're drinking Carignan. But it's a very interesting history with the country, and it's a very unique sort of climate. So obviously, there's a coastal region. There's a very cooling influence. It's the Humboldt Current.
Okay.
That comes up the sides. You get a very cooling sort of wind off of the ocean. And then there's two mountain ranges. So there's the coastal mountain range, and then there's this sort of central valley, which is where this wine is from. And then you have the Andes.
Wow.
And then, which is also a cooling influence. And then on the other side of the Andes is Argentina. Okay. So it's very, got these kind of, snow-capped massive mountains over here, a valley, another mountain range, and then down to the ocean.
Okay, so what I need to look this up on the
You're
map.
gonna look on a map, right?
Yeah, what am I gonna look at?
Well, this is from a region called Maule, Maule is the region, but if you just looked up
yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I got it. Okay, that's where it is. Oh, yes. Chile is that little strip of a country.
Right on the coast. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, because if you if you zoom all the way out on South America, that's okay. So that's why it tastes like this, because you have the water, and then you have these mountains. Okay.
So you can have a lot of diversity in climate because of that, right? Because you're going to get cooling influence from both sides. You're getting it from the ocean, from the Humboldt Current, and then you're getting it from the Andes. Right. And then the warmest part is like in between,
right,
in the Central Valley where this is from.
This all makes sense.
So that's where you'll see more grapes like, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, etc. in that warmer Central Valley. Just like here in Napa, like where I'm sitting in Napa, we're known for the same variety: Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Cabernet Franc. Closer to the coast in Sonoma, you'll see Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. And it's the same in Chile. So you'll see those varieties growing closer to the coast, and the Bordeaux varieties really growing in the Central Valley.
Okay.
It's warmer.
Yeah. Okay. I really like this, and I think
I like this too.
Yes, because when you smell it, it's got more of that berry, dark berry kind of deal.
Yeah.
But then it's like it's a little peppery too. I don't know what's going on there but I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect on my smeller is still not 100%. But I think I'm close.
I had wine with you in person, and I thought you were spot on. So
okay,
but no, I think so. This variety Carignan, it's high in a lot of structural elements. So it's high in acid, and it's high in tannin. And it's also a grape that has usually a very deep color as well. And it really only likes hot climates. So you won't see this growing places closer to the ocean, to cooling influences. It needs heat to thrive.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it is really deep. Like
for me, I think you said something that's like very apt, which is that sort of pepperiness to it.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of savory notes to this wine.
Yes.
Right. So I get this kind of like dark berry fruit, but then there is kind of a very, and I mean this as a compliment, kind of a rustic note to it, a very like black olive, kind of like grilled rosemary.
Grilled rosemary.
Just a lot of not fruit and non-fruit notes.
Yeah.
And it has this kind of like earthiness. And again, I mean, this is a compliment. It's something you often find in a region like Bordeaux, that kind of fruit plus this sort of savoriness or earthiness. And I find all of that in this glass.
You said grilled rosemary? Is that what you said?
Yes.
when did you grill rosemary that you know what that smells
So,
like?
so have you ever made like you can make like a grilled chicken or lamb, and you can even like make your skewer out of rosemary instead of like a skewer. So you put it on the grill. So there's like
Ma-
olive oil, right? And then like you instead of like skewering it with a, one of those wooden things or metal or whatever,
Yeah.
you can actually you use rosemary. And so it gets grilled and it has this different aroma than if you just picked it fresh.
Vanessa's here just grilling up rosemary skewers. The rest of us are just using wood.
That's what I think is, you know, anyway, I
Man,
think it's fascinating. I
that's
like to
amazing.
learn.
I mean, I gotta try this now. That's pretty amazing. Like,
Mhm.
I love it. I love that you. I love it. I've never. I got. Have any of you had a rosemary skewer? I gotta find out if anyone's had
Just be
rosemary.
careful that they don't catch on fire. You have to have
Yeah, I
like a
was gonna
nice,
say
yeah.
like how you really
I
gotta
think
cook.
it's all about the olive oil
Yeah,
coating and
yeah.
yeah,
You gotta have
yeah.
olive oil on that.
Can't be too dry. Right.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, Shauna has done it. Okay. Okay. All right. I guess look at this.
See,
Yeah, Shauna did it. Okay.
I'm not making this stuff up, you know?
Alexa did it. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Oh yeah, miniature Missy. Heck no, I ain't had no rosemary skewer.
So I don't know about in Southern California. Does rosemary grow like a bush in Southern California, like it does in Northern California?
Let me check my garden.
Okay. No, I want to tell you what. Like I
Wait. Okay.
have,
Wait. Okay.
I'll, I have two rosemary bushes in my front yard that could stock a Whole Foods for 2 years. I mean, if you ever need it, I will send you I will send you a massive box full of, you will never have to buy rosemary again. Like they're like taking over my front lawn. They grow
What?
like crazy out here. Yes. Yeah. I didn't know if it was the same in Los Angeles, but
Okay.
in Northern California,
This is not a thing here. No.
it's not a
Like
thing.
I guess, but I don't know. Okay, wait. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I live in
It's like
LA. It's a city, so
they're
I have no idea. So,
they're as big as my car. I mean, they're massive. Like,
okay.
and then I go to, you go to the grocery store and there's like this little plastic container and you pay like $5 for like four
Yeah.
sprigs. I'm going to tell you, I could fill thousands of the, like, I could probably retire today from wine and just become a rosemary purveyor. That's what's happening in my front yard.
This is your next career. Okay.
I
All
will
right.
become the rosemary skewer provider to the stars.
Are there any masters of rosemary?
I don't think so.
You be the first
No,
one.
no.
Okay. So like yeah. Alexa lives in Sonoma. She said, yeah, this is yeah. Yeah, Shauna in NorCal. Oh, Dee Dee said they have it in Fort Bragg. That's up north.
All
Um,
over.
anyone from SoCal that has this here? Wait, Leilani, you're in SoCal. You got rosemary. Do you? Um, Maddie in San Diego says her rosemary plants struggle.
Mm.
So yeah, I think that's got to be that is. I think it's
You know
more.
what?
Yeah.
Hit me up. I'll ship it to you. I need to trim that back anyway. So
Well, I'm gonna take some. All right. So next time all right. Next time I come up, it's been so long. Whenever the next time I come up is, I'll stop by your
yes.
house. We're gonna.
Okay. I
You
will
know,
load up the entire trunk of your car.
the
You'll be happy.
entire trunk. I need room for the wine I'm gonna take home too.
Oh, true. Okay,
Right?
I would choose that instead. But
Yeah, but
yeah. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent.
It was.
So
What's
so
growing in
one thing,
Florida too? Says Joyce, by the way. So all right.
all right, I'm not alone. this is why it's good to have these conversations. Like I'm not the only one that like my rosemary is taking over my house. So one thing I want to point out on the label is this. This is Vino here.
Yes.
So this is kind of a cool story. So so there is a voluntary membership of winemakers in Chile who are devoted to sort of the high quality production of Carignan, of the grape that's in this bottle. And their group is called Vino. And so if you're a part of it, you can put it on the label like they have here. But there's a couple of things that they do. Your wines have to be at least 85% Carignan, and they have to be dry farmed. Your vines have to be dry farmed, meaning that you do not irrigate. And they have to be vines that are at least 30 years of age. So they have sort of self-chosen, and then the wine has to be aged for 2 years before it's released. So they have self-guided these recommendations of what it takes to be part of it. But all of that is to say, like, this is not a grape variety that you see many places anymore. It used to be cultivated many more places in the old world and the new world. And then it kind of, I don't want to say it fell out of favor, but other things gained popularity as well, you know? And so it's kind of this ancient variety that this group has said, we are doubling down and really going to make the absolute highest quality representations. And so they hold themselves to these specific standards and stipulations of how they're going to produce it.
That's cool. Okay. I like that. That's really neat. And so they put the, and so that's why it says
so
that.
Vino.
Vino.
Exactly.
And vino derives from vino, I guess.
It's a great question.
It says it on the bottle. Wait. The name vino derives from the word vino, Spanish for wine, and the G from how do you say
Carignan.
Carignan. How do you say this?
Carignan. So the
Carignan.
The G is kind of silent, or it's like a glide, I think you would say, like Carignan.
Carignan.
But so you don't Carignan. Yeah.
Okay. Carignan.
Oh, I was wrong. It has to be 65-year-old vines according to this label.
Oh.
I thought it was at least. Oh, no, this bottle has vines that are over 65 years old. Wow. But to be part of the group, it has to be at least 30 years old. But this is 65-year-old vines here.
That's old. Wait.
Yeah.
That's actually really old. And I've had old vine wine, older than that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can really taste it when it gets like super old.
I love that topic of like why does that matter, old vines versus new vines, or younger vines, I should say. But older vines are generally known for having higher concentration. They produce less fruit, but it can be like more intense, you know? So and it's one of those things in wine, like you can ask 10 winemakers and you'll get 10 different answers as to why they do or don't like working with older vines, because they're also like, older vines can better weather the weather. Like they're better at adapting to extreme conditions, you know, whereas younger vines are kind of like, they're like adolescents, right? They're like, I'm so like, here I am, but then like it gets tough and they're like, I can't take it. So yeah, but some people really love, you know, working with younger vines because they do have a different character to them. But I think old vines are really cool. And you think about like how many, in some of these cases, how many generations or different people actually have like touched that one vine. I mean, 65 years of production, that's pretty cool.
I think that's so neat to think of the history. It's pretty special to think about. And
it's cool too, like you'll see in things like heat events, like so extreme heat conditions, like older vines can kind of like, they're smart, they'll actually like turn their leaves away from the sun.
Wow.
So it's crazy. Like they're smart. They've learned what to do, or, you know, and so they know how to kind of protect themselves, and they'll look really bad. You're like, oh gosh, that vine looks terrible. And then come back the next day and they're like, hi, like we're back, because they know how to like shut it down. And protect
This all
themselves.
makes sense, though. I mean,
Yeah.
that's incredible. Yeah, I love
So
it.
anyway, these are our two wines from today,
I love it.
from the Southern Hemisphere.
These are awesome.
And yeah, initial thoughts. What are your thoughts on these?
Like them a lot. Both. Those are my initial thoughts.
Yeah.
No, I think that for not being like such a Chardonnay lover, I think this is awesome.
Yeah.
I do. It's just kind of like light and refreshing, and it makes me want to, like you said, have like a salad or
Mhm.
oh, like the shrimp salad I had when I was in Disney World a couple
Ooh.
weeks ago. Like that would be perfect with this, because it was just so light, and it was just yeah. So something like that, like a light salad had shrimp on it and
Oh
olives
yeah.
and a feta. It was like a Greek salad, but with like shrimp. Yeah,
That sounds delicious.
perfect.
That or scallops. I don't make scallops myself
Ooh.
because
No.
they're so hard to get just right. But yeah,
But
but
yes,
it would be great with that.
totally. And then this guy,
Yeah.
like the
I
opposite.
feel like,
I mean, you could do whatever.
yeah,
Honestly, you could do whatever with it. Honestly, but you know,
it has that kind of smoky character to
right?
it
Yeah.
that I think would pair really well with things off the grill. It doesn't have to be meat though. It could be charred vegetables
You want
easily.
like yeah, you could do like mushrooms or something even. If you want to do something like that, right?
Yeah, totally. But I think if you wanted meat, I think it would be quite versatile with
Yeah.
things like burgers or steaks, or it's almost a wine I would pair. Let me think about this. Almost like I would a Syrah. We've had
Mm-hmm.
Syrah, right, from the Northern Rhone, sort of similar flavors because of that smokiness, but the tannin is a little bit higher. Tannin's that, tactile sensation that kind of dries your mouth out. The tannin is a little bit higher, so you could almost pair it with the same things you would pair with like Cabernet Sauvignon, I think, because of that. Or you can go, somewhere in between.
Totally right. I agree.
Yeah.
Would you? Yes. Would you say? Okay. Can you indulge me for a moment while I try this chip with this wine?
Oh yeah, let's
Because
try that chip.
now that I'm thinking about this, you said smoky, and this wine chip is Billionaire's bacon
Oh, bacon.
flavored. So like, let me see. Now I'm gonna make you hungry.
I honestly don't know how you've waited this long to try them.
I don't know.
I probably would have started the hour with that.
I know. Okay, wait. So,
Okay.
I like it. This stuff smells like bacon.
So
It doesn't look like bacon, but like
no. So it's called a wine chip.
they're just chips that are like meant to be
Meant to-
paired with wine.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Try it with the Carignan. Yes, I think because the Carignan has that meaty
So
note
like,
to it.
because like this one says, do you see this? You see it says pairing.
Pairing. I can't. Port. Rich ripe reds, port, and dessert wines.
So I think I don't know about I'm dropping things. It's fine. I think though rich. It smells like bacon. All right.
Okay. See, that makes me think of Syrah, like something I want to pair with Syrah, or maybe Grenache.
Okay.
How is it? Oh, you should try it with the. I'm gonna let you enjoy
That
it.
tastes,
I'll stop.
I mean that tastes like a bacon chip.
Yep.
So. Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. You know what's crazy about that?
What?
Is it did like that's actually like eating some I mean it is. It's very smoky and kind of meaty because it's bacon. So yeah, you kind of get that experience with this wine.
Okay.
That's pretty neat.
Are there more chips? Are there other chips?
I have another one. I got this one's Sel Gris.
Oh.
So that would be that's sea salt.
I love sea salt.
So I think this one would be like with the
white, probably. You probably do either actually. But salty and high acid can pair well, and I think that Chardonnay because it has a pretty zippy acid to it. I think that would pair pretty nicely.
Okay, let's see. But I think sea salt. Yeah, that just smells like a chip, but like. Whoa, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is gonna work.
Mm-hmm. I bet that chip would work well with champagne too.
That's the winner. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll try it with this.
Okay.
Man, okay. These chips are crazy. You have to try these one day. Because
Okay.
they're legit, like they actually, yeah, like they complement the wine so well.
Okay. So we'll do an
But champagne-
exchange.
Yeah,
You'll
oh
give me
yeah,
some chips and I'll give you some rosemary.
we were trading chips for rosemary here. This is beautiful. Yes, yeah, but you're right though. That's a champagne. That's a champagne chip.
Yeah, salty things, especially like potato chips and champagne. Oh,
Yeah,
so good.
yeah, that's the one.
That's a winner.
Yeah, no. Those are good. Yeah, and the wines are amazing.
So good.
You have
And
time.
we have more to taste.
You have
next
time for a
time.
couple questions?
Sure. Let's do it.
A white wine with butter and shrimp, said Shauna. Oh yeah.
Chardonnay.
Yes, yeah. If you guys had any questions, oh, perfect. Right, Miniature Missy wanted to know. Could you speak to the irrigation wine laws and their origin?
Yes, I can. So okay, yes. I'm organizing my thoughts here. So like many wine laws, the intention was always quality. The intention was always to be sure that the wines from a particular region were representing the region to the best, so that if a consumer had them, they were tasting sort of what that region would be proud of. The reason why things like irrigation were inhibited or prohibited in some regions is vines don't necessarily do better with more water. There's something called yield when we talk about grapevines, and it literally means how much is the vine producing. And sometimes to produce quality grapes, you have to actually restrict the yield. You want to pull it back because a very vigorous vine can produce maybe too much fruit. It's not as concentrated, it's not as interesting, but also vigor. Often when we talk about a vine, and sorry you asked, so I'm going to just go there, is often about it'll make a canopy instead of fruit. So if you think about a vine, there's the canopy, which is the leaves, right? The leaves, and then the fruit. And when vines are more stressed for things like water, or in some cases even nutrients, they will focus their production on the clusters of grapes instead of the foliage, because grape production is their reproduction, right? The seeds are in the grapes. So they go into this mode where they're like, oh, I don't have time for that, right? I'm going to focus on this because this is literally survival. And so, to back it up just for a minute, like this, almost every wine law came from like, how can we produce better wine? The issue is that there has been changes in however you believe what's happening in the world. There are changes that have happened in terms of rainfall and droughts and climates. And so it doesn't necessarily always work perfectly anymore. There are some regions where you don't need to worry about it, and some regions that you do. I live in Napa Valley. We're in massive drought, right? We've had years of drought. And so it's not that it's not possible to irrigate here, but sometimes it's beneficial to the vines. Right. And we don't have those same types of laws here where, again, I don't want to call us a new wine region because we're not, but we're new compared to these old regions like in the European Union. And there's way more laws there. Right. But what I wanted to say is that there are exceptions now. So even producers in regions where there are lots of laws, they can apply for exceptions. So they can apply to say like, I need to irrigate. Do I have permission? And you can, but that's a big difference between certain places in let's say Europe and New World regions like what we're tasting tonight, where there aren't really those types of laws there,
Right.
that a lot of European countries, it's been tradition or history or law for years and years. I hope did that make sense to answer the question?
I mean, I think you
Okay.
answered it brilliantly.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yes. Miniature Mrs. said, "I love this. Thank you so much." So
Okay.
yeah,
My pleasure.
yeah. So yes, that was
Fine.
brilliant. You know, yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. Of course you did.
I tried.
Yeah, yeah, you did. Yeah, amazing. Um, wow. Yeah. No, these are excellent. I yeah, like so good. And it's and I'm so just really not familiar with these wines in this
Yeah.
region, and it was
Well,
so
that's
nice
why.
to actually try some. Like I'm trying to think if I've ever had one from Chile before. Like I may have once, like
Mhm.
but oh wait, I have a question. Do you
Okay.
have like one more minute?
For you, of course,
Yeah.
obviously. Yes.
I notice like the price point is actually lower on a lot of really good wine from a
Mhm.
region like Chile.
Mhm.
Because like this wine,
Yes.
if this wine was from, let's say, Napa Valley, it'd be a lot more expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So why? Like that's my question,
Okay.
because this tastes as like this. I'd be like, I want this,
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a good question. So essentially, in some parts of the world, in terms of winemaking, or vineyards, land is really expensive. So two great examples of that are Napa and Burgundy.
Okay.
And part of that, of course, comes from quality. It's known for quality. Some of it is because Napa is actually a really small growing region. There's only 30 miles long as a region, and like 5 miles wide at its widest. So that's very small. So it's very coveted. Some of it is brand recognition and region. I think like Napa Valley is a brand name. People know it. So there's a cachet there as well. But then there are very expensive wines that come from Chile. So things like first growth Bordeaux houses, like the Rothschilds, and they've invested in Chile. So you will find a very broad scale of price points, but it's sort of a tragedy in some ways that a lot of these countries, when they first sort of were getting known by consumers, they were known for these very affordable price points. Australia, like our first wine, is a great example of that. Like in the early 2000s, everyone wanted these like sort of cheap and cheerful wines with like kangaroos and other stuff on the, koalas on these Australian, and it was great for a while because it really like drew attention to Australia as a growing region. But it's taken them a while actually to kind of bounce back from that, when there are very outstanding high quality wines, but it's sort of like where they started. So if that makes sense,
that does.
there's all, so it's kind of supply and demand. Part of it is just cost of land. Part of it is just history of how things came to market. But Australia has struggled with that for many years, and I think is still kind of trying to bounce back from that.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, thanks.
But
Perfect.
even in a region like Bordeaux, you'll see very value priced wines there too, actually. I mean, you can find a $10-15 bottle of Bordeaux, and you can pay $1,500 for a bottle of Bordeaux. So there's variety among many regions. Napa is a bit of an outlier in that it's so expensive here. Land is so expensive, and there's no more. Like, we're planted out. So it's harder to find a value wine in Napa. They're findable, but it's harder. It's much harder.
Okay, that's the reason. Okay, there you go, guys. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, but all the wines in this set are like kind of amazingly priced. Like, it's yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll put
I,
the link in, guys, again, so you could see it there. Because everything, the four wines we picked, I mean, they're like right around 20. Some are less.
yeah. I was trying to think if there's anything even
I think there's one that's
approaching
over.
30.
I think there's one that's over. No, nothing is over 25.
I don't think so. Yeah.
No,
Great,
that's
great wines.
that's pretty awesome. And they
So
and yeah, for it to taste
I don't
like
know when we're
this.
doing this again. We have to pick a date.
Oh yeah,
Not
we'll
right
pick
now on the
another
spot.
date.
But
Yeah,
we have
yeah,
another date. We have two more wines to try.
we do. And I, you know, can't wait till we do one day. We're doing this in person.
Yes. Well,
Uh, we
well,
will.
we've like the first domino is down, right? Like
Yeah,
we actually met in person.
we met.
That's the first step. That's the first step. And
That's
then
it.
next we'll gather more. Gather more
Yeah,
people.
I
Yes.
know. Yes, a show in person. Could you imagine a show in person with me and Vanessa, guys? I mean, you'd tune in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They would. One day.
I hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen.
Well,
Cool.
this is so great. Thank you so much for having me back. I really missed tasting wine with you, and I really missed all your wonderful community and their amazing questions and all their great enthusiasm for wine. It just it's really just inspiring to be back. So thank you.
Look at them. It's the best. You're the best. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks. Hey guys, I will I'll hang out for like another 5 minutes and then I gotta go. But thank you, Vanessa, for being here.
My pleasure. All right. Well, bye everyone, and we'll figure out another date and we'll taste more wine together. I can't wait.
Good.
Enjoy your chips.
Hey, thanks. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
um, we did it. Another Wine Wednesday, guys. How great is that? That was awesome, and I gotta say, it was so great to finally meet Vanessa in person and actually share wine with her. We had such a good time. It's so funny when you meet someone the way that Vanessa and I met each other, and we hadn't actually met in person, but she's one of the people that over the last year and a half, you know, like we got to know each other so well, and to finally get to meet in person was amazing. And she's the best. She's great. She really is. So one day we will for sure do an in-person show together. I think that would be incredible. So, right? Don't you think so? And I think that now that it's all opened up and I can get up there, we'll make it happen. So, yeah. And again, what an education we get here. Isn't it kind of crazy we get this education from her? Pretty amazing. A blast. Napa trip? Oh, you guys want to go on a Napa trip? Yeah, I know. Yeah, one day. Gotta figure it out. Napa, I was looking at going up this summer, and the prices of the hotels and whatnot, it's crazy, which I think you're going to find in a lot of touristy regions this summer, because like everyone's wanting to go and do stuff again and get out. It's pretty crazy. It's really insane this summer. This is so crazy. So yeah, I do want to get back up there. this summer, but we'll see what happens. I will let you guys know what happens, and I also would love to go during fall because it's harvest, like Shauna said. Um, It'd be really neat to see harvest happening. I've never seen that before, so I think that'd be really cool. But like Dee Dee just said, there are Motel 6s 200 plus. 200 plus for Motel 6. You see that? It's unbelievable what's going on. Yeah. And Maddie here said it was so cheap in September. Right, because no, people weren't going out yet. Right. It's just it's crazy. Meanwhile, hey Zara, Sonoma would be amazing. Yeah. Meanwhile, you look now at the hotels in Napa. The last time I went to Napa, man, it was like a few years ago. But the hotel I stayed at, I looked at recently, and I was like, "Oh, you're triple the price." Okay, I'm not staying there this time. But yeah, that's what's going on now. It's and I understand it too, because these hotels made zero money last year. So it's just wild. Yeah. It's wild right now. I will find my way back up there one way or another, and you know, we'll figure it out. I would love to get. I really do want to get up there though this summer. I really do. So you know, I'll hit up that Motel 6, Dee Dee. Yeah, let's do that. I'll do that. All right. I got a sip left of the Carignan. Vanessa taught us how to say this tonight. Carignan. Carignan. When I saw the label, I was like Carignan, and then she's like Carignan, of course. Yeah. Maddie, I will find my way. I will go the distance, right, to taste wine someday. It's where I do belong. Oh, I like that, Maddie. That's good. That's good. You're running low on your wine access wine, Zara. Well, go get some Southern Hemisphere stuff. This stuff's good, and the price point is like really good. So yeah, yeah. All right. I'm gonna get going, guys. Well, also, before I go, these are really good. I just wanted to let you guys know again that these chips are awesome. The bacon one is really, really, really good, and this is sea salt. So yeah, these are great. If let me pop in the link again for Wine Access because I want you guys to go see this if you haven't checked it out yet. This is like the best. Oh, Naomi popped it in there. Thanks, Naomi. I just saw that. I think this is the best deal that we've done with the Wine Access wines, right? Like this price point. Yeah, the bacon in this wine. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, Michelle Phoenix, thank you so much. You have a good night too, Michelle. Thank you. Cheers to you. Thanks for being here. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna buy Vanessa a glass of wine with that. She deserves it. I just need to scroll up here and see some of the chat. Dee Dee, your last live stream for a week. Oh yeah, Dee Dee going to Disneyland. Very exciting. Thank you, Shauna. Chips for dinner? No, I've got an actual dinner. I gotta actually eat food after the wine, you know. But yeah. But yeah. Yeah, Shauna, I think it's a great thing to know about it's so true. The quality and the price point. Yeah, really good. And we have 2 more to taste that Vanessa and I we'll pick a date and taste the other 2 in the little collection that we picked. So, and the other 2 that we picked, one is from Argentina and one is from New Zealand. So you see what we're doing here. We're taking Southern Hemisphere, but completely opposite places. So those will be the next 2 that we do, and we'll pick a date for that. And it'll be a blast again. So thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. You guys are the best. Really, I've missed doing this. It's super fun to do this. You know, with Vanessa again, and yeah, Lord of the Rings wine, right? Yeah, yeah. So that's what we'll do the next time with Vanessa. Great to do this again. Thank you. It was right. As Maddie said there, thanks for the reluctant 2020 nostalgia tonight. It's true though. It really is, right? We spent many a Wednesday doing that. So it was really nice to do this again with you all. I do thank you. Yeah, it was great. And we had new faces here too tonight, which is great. Hey Melissa, I'm glad you joined tonight. Yeah. Hey, Joyce. Joyce, shout out to Joyce, too. Thanks for the wine glass, right? Great meeting Joyce and Dave in Florida, of course, recently. So, yeah, this was great. And it just goes to show you what a special group that we have here. Really. Really. Special group of people right here. Thank you all. Hey, thanks. Thanks, Robert. So, hey, cheers to you all. And I will see you. Well, if you haven't watched my video, I uploaded a video today. So go check that out. And you'll see more videos coming from Disneyland and World in the next week or so. And I get to see some of you in person. I've already seen some of you, and I get to see some of you in person soon. This is great. Life's back. It's really great. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks to all the people from Australia that tuned in. Hey, Amanda. Cheers, guys. Thanks, everybody. Good stuff. Yeah, Discord, Patreon people. I'll see you over there. Bye, guys.